Here's all of my Beyoncé acts theories in one video, and the link to this thread will be in the description. So first we have a picture for the Renaissance visuals, similar to a picture from the On the Run 2 visuals. The next one is Beyoncé walking through this door in the I'm That Girl teaser, which is also the same door set in the Amen lyric visual. And with this one, I came to the conclusion that her walking out of this door from the Renaissance teaser is her also walking into Act 2, which is why it glitches to the brown door and a different look, and why Amen being at the end of Act 2 is that era, and how the lyric visual is moving like how the end of a movie is when the credits are moving up the screen. And even the behind the scenes of the full set being shown tells me that since she moved the acts around, that she also moved the visuals around as well, and that the next door she will be walking through is Act 3's door. And this also relates to my theory that the visuals may connect, because if you look back at the Beyoncé Bowl footage, then you can see how that transition went with her walking through the light. And I do think that the theory of Beyoncé walking through the metaverse could be correct, because it looks like every door she walked through will be her walking into the different acts throughout different timelines. But I previously thought that since Beyoncé said that she put Renaissance first so everyone could dance, that would just be for the order of when she drops the albums, and she would put Cowboy Carter first for the visuals, with my theory of them transitioning from past to future. But now it's looking like it's gonna be in a different order, transitioning from the future, past to present, with Renaissance being the future, Cowboy Carter being the past, and Act 3 being the present. Then we have the pattern of her using KNTY News for Act 1, then KNTRY Radio Texas for Act 3, with Act 3 most likely relating to the two acts. And I also theorized that Act 2 would be radio themed, but I noticed that this theme has another clue to it, with the newspaper being included in the tour outfits as well, and I'll share more about the newspaper later. But I think the newspaper outfits are a hint towards Act 3, since Betty Black is included on the newspaper cover. The 51 number on the mailbox reminded me of Area 51, and realizing that Renaissance was also an alien era made me realize this was intentional. This is a tour spoiler, so if you don't want to see any visuals, you can click off the video now. But this ties into my red car theory, and Beyoncé including the red Cadillac in the Cowboy Carter tour proves this theory right, along with her showing Elvis and my Elvis theory merging into that, with the main colors being red, which blew my mind. But that full video should pop up at the top and also at the end of this video if you would like to check it out after this one. Renaissance being the news theme and Cowboy Carter being radio themed, with KNTY 4 News and KNTRY Radio Texas. So I'm assuming that Act 3 will also include a K in it as well. Beyoncé including the Renaissance building in her Renaissance visualizer, the horns from Renaissance and the horns in the Haunted music video. Two Most Wanted being the country version of On the Run 2, the On the Run 2 era and the Cowboy Carter era, both including newspaper, her communicating through everything like the newspaper and the diner sign, which is everything but a telephone, and how it's like she's leading us through different ways of communication until we get to the telephone. The settings of telephone on the Run 2 and the Levi commercial all being in a diner, and the On the Run 2 braids being similar to the Cowboy Carter ones. The disco ball themed room in the Renaissance teaser. B and Kendrick both using the American flag as symbolism in their art after their collab of AHSP, with Pills also shaping out the American flag. And the American flag nails she had during this era are similar to the ones she had in the Telephone music video, while she also teased Telephone in the Cowboy Carter tour. So these could be signs that Telephone is coming. The billboards going from old style billboards to technology based billboards if you look at Renaissance compared to Cowboy Carter's, and her and Jay being in a telephone booth, in which I say On the Run 2 is just the Bonnie and Clyde version of Telephone, because the storylines are still similar, right along with me thinking of Two Most Wanted being the country version as well, with all storylines being them trying to escape before the law can catch them for their crimes. Her in the red car from the visuals reminded me of her in Telephone. And to me, it looks like she's going from Beyoncé to Sasha into that rebellious don't hurt yourself energy, which I feel like she will transition into for Act 3, with her saying she coming being another clue to that. A year ago, when I predicted that Act 3 would be rock based off of Dolly doing a rock album the previous year, and Dolly now being on Cowboy Carter and Beyoncé also wearing a star on her eye, like how Dolly did for her rock album. The second Levi commercial being based off of a scene in Cadillac Records, and I even found a a star included in the commercial, just like in that same scene in the movie as well. When I realized that the title of the albums are also the number of acts, like Renaissance is 1 word for Act 1, Cowboy Carter is 2 words representing Act 2, so I think Act 3 could be 3 words. When I realized Beyoncé made songs for the twins and she put it on Act 2, and that's when I realized she put Jolene and Daughter together to represent her and Ms. Tina, the black horse loading, then the black horse actually turning black the day of her first Cowboy Carter show. It seems like she's dropping different products during different eras, so I think she could drop another big product in the Act 3 era. Her using the pride flag during the Renaissance era, her using the American flag for Cowboy Carter, and I predict that she could use the Black American Heritage flag because I feel like she's using the flags that represent herself, and I'll make another video elaborating more on this, but her sharing more about her and her life, also her even sharing her birth certificate, because Cowboy Carter is a representation of her heritage, is another reason I feel like it's going to transition from the regular American flag to the Black American Heritage flag. And the license plate on the car in the Beyoncé Bowl commercial having the year 1967 on it, and the Black American Heritage flag being created in that same year. And the flag also matched the red and black rock aesthetic we all think Beyoncé will use in Act 3. Her using the sash like how she used in Pretty Hurts, and how sash is a shorter word, similar to Sasha, as in Sasha Fierce, which also seems like a clue that Sasha is coming back for Act 3. And there's a lot more concepts, clues, and theories on this thread, so I'll add the link to it in the description if you want to check them out, including a lot more similarities to Kendrick and B's work, to the point that I still feel like they are working on something together, but they're just sharing their art in their own unique way for now.